Welcome to the Packer Mentality Podcast, where I try to keep you up to date and shed a light on what is happening on and off the field with the Packers. Big thank you to everyone tuning in. Your active engagement has played a crucial role in the development of this channel. Please take a moment to subscribe, share your comments, and connect with me on social media at Packer Mentality. Please don't forget, you can find this podcast on all your favorite podcast platforms. Green Bay Packers went out and surprised everyone, hiring Jeff Hafley as their new defensive coordinator. He was a guy I really didn't hear anyone talking about. As the head coach of Boston College, he was pretty much off of everybody's radar. But he does fit what we thought the Packers would be looking for, and he checks the boxes. His experience starts in the college ranks, Worcester Polytech in Albany from 2001 to 2005. 2006 to 2010, he was at Pittsburgh. Actually coached Darrelle Revis there for one season. 2011, moved to Rutgers. Had a hand in developing a defense that finished ninth in the college ranks in passing defense. On that team, Deron Harmon and Logan Ryan, both of whom were drafted by the Patriots. From 2012 to 2013, he moved back to the NFL with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, was the defensive backs coach for a year, safeties coach in 2013, where that defense finished third in the NFL in interceptions with 21, something the Packers need a lot of help with. 2014 to 2015, he was the Browns secondary coach under defensive coordinator Mike Pettin, a familiar name to the two Packers fans. 2016 to 2018, 49ers defensive back coach. The last couple of years under defensive coordinator Robert Saleh, and we know how good he is as a defensive coordinator. 2019, he went back to college and was hired as the co-defensive coordinator at Ohio State, where that season they finished fourth in the nation in defense. I know you're saying they have all sorts of talent at Ohio State. Well, they had talent before he got there. And before he got there, 2018, 72nd in the nation in defense. After just 1 year, in December 2019, he was offered the job and took the job as the head coach at Boston College. And with much less talent than he had at Ohio State, he built a top 30 defense at Boston College. Jeff Hafley is the opposite in his mentality to Joe Barry. He is still very young. He's only 44, but he has experience calling defenses and being in charge of a defense. He knows a lot about stopping spread offenses from his time in the college ranks. His NFL coaching experience exposed him, and he learned a bunch of different schemes and game planning from Mike Pettin and Robert Saleh, just to name a couple guys. He knows how to adapt and succeed from his time at Boston College. He clearly understands secondary play and teaches his players. I've heard a couple of his talks, and I love what he has to say about playing press coverage, and he loves to play press coverage. What does this mean for the Packers? Well, we'll probably see a lot less of our corners playing 10 yards off on 3rd and 4. It's likely we'll see this secondary play cover 2 with press and squat corners. But what about our corners? Can they do that? Yeah. Carrington Valentine, Eric Stokes, they were press corners coming out of college. And Jair Alexander, he can play anything. Definitely can play press man. It's going to be an overall scheme change for Green Bay. This Packers defense will play a lot more with a 4-man front like Hafley's defenses did at Ohio State and Boston College. The talent he has on this team on the defensive line, they can do this. Sean Gary, Lucas Van Ness, and company, They'll play a lot more with their hands on the turf, but this is not something entirely new to them. They had been doing it even under Joe Barry in certain situations, over the last couple of years. Since we're going to be doing a mock draft here in a minute, what does this mean for the Packers draft? We already know that this secondary needs help. This team needs a center fielder type safety, and it's going to need press corners, both of which will likely be available when the Packers pick in the first couple rounds. And on that note, let's get into the mock draft. For this, like most of the mock drafts you're going to see on social media, I will use the Pro Football Focus mock draft simulator. So let's get it rolling.
So here we are in the simulator. We're going to do a 4-round. All the settings are the default. I'm going to set the speed to a little bit slower so we can see what the picks are leading up to the Packers pick. And here we go. Here with the Packers pick at number 25, we have Enos Rakestraw. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Out of Missouri. According to Pro Football Focus, he is an incredibly smart and savvy off-coverage cornerback who plays in a way that makes his film a joy. Before plays are even snapped, you can see evidence of his football IQ with his pre-snap communication and adjustments to motion. And it basically says he is not asked to play press or single coverage often. But everything else there is what you need. Maybe his testing will give us more information on his recovery speed and things like that. But at this point, we're going to go with him. All right, at number 41, I am going to go get my safety. And I want a guy who is super athletic. And that is going to be Cam Kinchens, who, according to Pro Football Focus, is a very versatile safety. And his athleticism gives him top tier range in coverage as a single high defender, which is exactly what the Packers will need. But he can also be used in the box, and we're going to go with him. All right, at number 45, because he is still available, I am taking Graham Barton. His one knock is, I believe, that he has short arms. But other than that, he can play tackle. They could move him inside to guard. He has position versatility. So we will go that direction this time. Here we are at pick 88. And because the Packers need to look to the future at running back, I'm going to take Mr. Corum out of Michigan. At pick number 91, we are going to help out the defensive line, look for a big guy that can play in the A and B gap. That is McKinley Jackson, who, according to Pro Football Focus, pretty solid against the run, 76.9 grade, 70 grade against the pass. I think we're going to get us some help at the center position. We'll go with Cedric Van Pran out of Georgia. And finally, at pick number 135, we're going to continue to add to the depth on the offensive line. We're going to take Blake Fisher out of Notre Dame. He's 6'6", 310 or something like that. Plays right tackle. So how did we do? We added talent and depth to the cornerback room. Added a center field safety. depth at offensive line, at guard, tackle, and center, a possible replacement for Aaron Jones in a year or two, and some size and talent to the defensive line. Not too bad.
Before we wrap up, remember that your thoughts and comments are always welcome. Please don't hesitate to share them in the comment section, subscribe, and connect with me on social media. Wishing you a great weekend, and until next time, take care, and as always, go Pack Go.